Hello students, I am Dr. A.P.Sinha, University Professor of History. My today's lecture is on Napoleon Bonaparte. Was he a man of destiny? Why the phrase, the name Napoleon stands for order within and glory without, is so popular? Let us examine it. This is a rough sketch of Europe during Napoleonic era. This is Great Britain, though small but very powerful because of her naval power. France, Spain, Africa, Austrian Empire. This is Germany and Italy. At the time of Napoleon, it was merely a geographical expression. This is Corsica, where Napoleon was born. And just an year before he was born, it became a part of France in 1768. So it was just, he became a French citizen by default. So in one sentence, Napoleon can be described as from nowhere, Corsica, to somewhere, France. Pinnacle of his career at Tilsit in 1810, and finally to St. Helena in the stomach of Africa, where he died unsung and unwept in 1821. All this goes to relate that was Napoleon a man of destiny? A man neither connected with nobility nor royalty, made Europe dance to his tune from 1799 to 1815. The myth of his being a man of destiny is a result of his meteoric rise from suppressing a revolt at Toulon, 1795, a string of military conquest, Treaty of Campo Formia, which was somewhere in Austrian Empire, and later Austerlitz, 1805, Dresden, here his victory at Dresden, and so on, thereby earning fame and prestige for France, which the long rule of Louis kings could not achieve. He fought more than 60 battles, losing only 7, mostly in the end. Napoleon governed France as first consul from 1799 to 1804 and as an emperor from 1804 to 1814. Two features of his 15 years are noteworthy. His domestic reforms, which consolidated the gains of the revolution, and his military campaign, which provoked a nationalistic reaction in neighboring countries and eventually brought his downfall in Russia. On domestic front, he organized a new social order on the principle of equality, put an end to feudalism, serfdom, and codified the laws, which came to be known as Code Napoleon, which was a single set of laws wiping out the confusing remnants of the old regime. Even these days, this code is prevalent in France with some modifications, and with some modifications in Italy, Holland, Belgium, and Germany. He centralized the administration, organized a system of national education, established Bank of France, and reached an agreement with the papacy concerning church-state relations. To enthuse and encourage people and earn name and fame, he created Legion of Honor, which is even today the highest French honor. Some of the Indians, like Amitabh Bachchan and Lata Mangeshkar, have been given this Legion of Honor. All these reforms made him very popular. It is, however, believed that Napoleon squandered to the goodwill by waging war unceasingly. Here comes the destiny factor. It is said that he came to believe that a royalty would remain royal even when he is defeated. But things will be otherwise in his case. So he had a strong notion to believe in his regular and constant military genius to keep him floating in popular minds. By the Treaty of Tilsit, 1810, he reached the height of his fortunes. He had extended France's frontiers across the Rhine to Lubeck and across Alps to Rome. The rest of Europe consisted of dependent satellites and allies in Central Europe, carried the nationalistic spirit into Germany and Italy, where no unity had existed before his arrival, indirectly helping them in their unification plan. Britain alone remained independent and hostile, whom Napoleon wanted to counter through trade embargo, his continental system, expecting his friendly powers to economically hurt the nation of shopkeepers, whose power was world trade. Here, destiny led Napoleon to commit a series of miscalculations and mistakes. His non-French subjects eventually grew tired of the requisitioning, the taxes, the conscription, the arrest of Pope, and the wars, and above all, the rumors of war. The armed resistance in Spain, also called a Spanish ulcer, unrest in Italy and Germany, and an invasion of Russia in 1812, when it refused to implement continental system, proved catastrophic for Napoleon's Grand Army, which could not cope with the Russian cold. On his retreat from Moscow, the great Napoleon was no longer a feared general, and in the Battle of Leipzig, 1813, also known as the Battle of Nations, in which the coalition forces of Austria, Prussia, Russia, and Sweden defeated him. In April 1814, Napoleon was forced to abdicate the French throne and exiled to Elba, a very small island in the Mediterranean. From Elba, though Napoleon returned back to rule France for another 100 days, Europe united again, in which Britain took leading part, and finally defeated him in the Battle of Waterloo, which is in Belgium. St. Helena became his new prison home. It seems the destiny man believed in the invincibility of his military genius. But alas, it was the same very genius which led to his lustreless end at St. Helena. The ideology of the French Revolution, that he was the son of the revolution, backfired upon him. The people Napoleon had offended and enthused by the slogan liberty, equality, and fraternity had turned against their teacher. Indeed, what made Napoleon in world politics also unmade him. Thank you.